Italy's AV-8B Plus Harrier II fleet is entering its final operational years, yet the story of its gradual phase-out is far more complex than a simple retirement timeline. The Harrier has been the backbone of Italian naval aviation for more than 3 decades, delivering combat capability from small-deck aircraft carriers that would otherwise have been unable to host fixed-wing jets. As Italy transitions toward the F-35B, the Harrier's last stand represents a critical phase in which the Navy must sustain credible air power at sea while navigating a difficult technological and logistical handover. This is not a symbolic farewell, but a strategic necessity in an increasingly unstable Mediterranean and Red Sea environment. Italy originally acquired 16 AV-8B Plus Harrier II and 2 TAV-8B two-seat trainers. Over time, attrition, airframe fatigue, and dwindling spare parts reduced the effective fleet to approximately 14 aircraft, with no more than 6 to 8 typically ready for operational deployment. Even in this reduced state, the Harrier remains essential. The aircraft has participated in every major Italian naval operation since the 1990s, from Kosovo in 1999 to Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan, and later in Libya in 2011. These combat experiences shaped the Italian Navy's doctrine for sea-based power projection, making the Harrier more than just a stopgap asset. It became the aircraft around which the entire modern concept of Italian carrier aviation was built. The late-life challenges of maintaining the Harrier fleet are significant. Production lines have long closed. Spare parts exist only in dwindling U.S. Marine Corps and Spanish inventories, and suppliers for avionics and airframe components no longer support the system. The Rolls-Royce Pegasus engine, the heart of the Harrier's vertical lift capability, is particularly difficult and expensive to service with remaining parts. Italy has resorted to a combination of cannibalization, selective overhauls, and close cooperation with the United States and Spain to extend service life. Engineers must work around outdated avionics that receive no new software updates and rely on legacy radar modes from the AN/APG-65. These aircraft still carry weapons such as the AIM-120, AMRAAM, AGM-65 Maverick, and JDAM, though all operate within limitations imposed by aging electronics and fatigue management rules. Every additional flying hour represents both a capability preserved and a burden intensified. Given these constraints, it is worth asking why Italy continues to operate Harriers at all. The answer lies in the risk of an air-wing capability gap. Italy operates 2 major aviation-capable ships, the aircraft carrier Cavour and the landing helicopter dock Trieste. For these vessels to deliver strategic value in NATO operations, humanitarian response, or maritime security in the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean, they require fixed-wing jets. Without Harriers, Italy would face several years with no viable carrier strike fighters, a loss that would significantly weaken the NATO Southern Flank at a moment of rising instability. The Mediterranean has seen increased Russian submarine activity, and the Bab el-Mandeb choke point has become a flashpoint with growing threats to commercial shipping. Italy cannot afford a period where its carrier group sails without air cover. Maintaining Harriers is therefore a strategic obligation, not a legacy indulgence. The Harriers currently operate primarily from the Cavour, which has been through multiple refits to support F-35B operations while still accommodating the older fleet. The ship typically deploys 6 or 7 Harriers during major exercises and international missions. These deployments provide real carrier presence, even if the aircraft no longer represent the cutting edge of air power. They maintain pilot proficiency in carrier operations, preserve deck handling skills, and keep the Italian Navy's aviation culture intact during the transition. The Harrier pilots will eventually convert to the F-35B, so ensuring steady flying hours is essential not only for today's readiness, but also for tomorrow's fifth-generation force. Trieste, the new landing helicopter dock, presents another layer of complexity. Although designed with F-35B operations in mind, Trieste is not optimized for Harrier performance. Its deck geometry, internal hangar layout, and maintenance facilities were planned for a stealth aircraft with different support requirements. In an emergency, Harriers can operate from Trieste, but doing so is not efficient or sustainable. This means that until Italy fields enough F-35B to split a proper air wing between Cavour and Trieste, the older ship bears nearly the entire burden of fixed-wing naval aviation. This reinforces the need to keep the Harriers operational until both ships can support fifth-generation jets. The central question is, how long Italy must continue this balancing act? The country has committed to acquiring 15 F-35B for the Navy and additional units for the Air Force. With 3 to 4 already in service and more arriving between 2024 and 2026, Italy is approaching an important threshold. Once Cavour can embark 8 to 10 F-35B at full operational capability, the Harriers can begin a phased drawdown. For Italy to activate a true dual-carrier concept, Trieste will need at least 4 to 6 F-35B of its own. Realistically, this places full Harrier retirement between 2027 and 2029, assuming the global production schedule remains stable. The strategic implications of this transition extend beyond Italy. Once Italy and Spain retire their Harriers, the only remaining Western STOVL aircraft will be the F-35B. This consolidates the technological foundation of NATO's carrier aviation and aligns European partners with the United States Marine Corps and the United Kingdom's Royal Navy. It also reinforces Italy's industrial role. The Cavour final assembly and checkout facility remains one of the few global hubs capable of producing and maintaining F-35 variants for European and Asian partners. The transition from Harrier to F-35B therefore strengthens Italy's long-term defense posture rather than weakening it. Italy's Harrier fleet is approaching the end of its operational life, but its final years are strategically decisive. The aircraft continues to provide Italy with a credible sea-based strike and reconnaissance capability during a period of heightened regional instability. It preserves naval aviation skills and ensures that the Navy does not face an air power vacuum between generations. The Harrier's last stand is a story of resilience and necessity, reflecting Italy's commitment to maintaining continuous carrier aviation while preparing for a new era defined by stealth, networking, and multinational interoperability. Far from being a mere relic of the past, the Harrier remains a vital bridge to Italy's future as a fifth-generation maritime power.